this is my fusion. Let me turn off my webcam real quick again. We have Parental Bond for our ability, and then our passive ability is also Parental Bond. So abilities do stack in this game, and if you're not familiar with what Parental Bond does, it works almost similar to multi-lens. So you get an additional hit, but that additional hit is only 25% extra damage. So say for example you do a move like Dragon Energy, you're only going to do an additional hit at 25% of that damage. However, in this game, it's pretty busted. If you use a move like Nightshade, Seismic Toss, or even Metal Burst, you'll get the additional hit, but you get full value out of it. So it's not going to do 25% damage. It'll do the full 100% damage. So you ready? Here are the movesets I have: Seismic Toss, Nightshade, Power Up Punch, and Dragon Darts. I use Power Up Punch just to give myself the attack boost in Endless, since it retains to the next floor. It's kind of similar to how Torch Song works, so I can show you right here. I have, let's see, two multi-hitting moves, two multi-lens, and then with Parental Bond, it actually doubles whatever the previous stack is. So say you have one Parental Bond, right? That's 2 hits. If you have another Parental Bond on top of that, that's 4 hits. So it'll double the previous amount, which is kind of crazy. It doesn't go from 2 to 3. It goes 2 to 4. So let's say for example, I have 2 multi-lens as well. You can already get the picture here. And then from that one turn, you can see, let me just take an item real quick. I'm already at +5 attack. So that's how I was using it at the beginning of the game, just to give myself the attack boost. And then anytime I need to kill anything, I'll just use Dragon Darts, right? But the build is gonna start shining once we get later into the game, because as you know, Seismic Toss and Nightshade, it's relative to whatever level your Pokemon is. So you'll do damage based on that, right? So if I were to use Nightshade on low kicks, take a look at this. It does 1022 damage, and it's gonna do it 4 times. In terms of like double battles, this is the only thing that is holding me back. So eventually I might take out Dragon Dart for like Rock Slide or something. It doesn't really matter. But in this case, you get the picture. I'm telling you, once we start getting like 99 candy jars and we approach like, say floor 3k or something, we're gonna be around like maybe level 100k. Dude, the amount of damage you're gonna be doing is insane. And mind you, this also works with Metal Burst. So you know how multi-lens doesn't work for those moves? It will work with Metal Burst. It will work with Parental Bond. So if you want to use this build with Metal Burst, I would recommend going with Parental Bond Sturdy to do that. So then you can basically get 2 hits out of your Metal Burst at 100% value. Once you start approaching floors 3k, that's when we get a lot of damage tokens and protection tokens. And it basically makes your main carry redundant. But for this build, your Pokemon only gets stronger as you progress. So by that time, our levels is going to be so high, meaning our damage is going to be even higher. Are you with multi-lens too? So you don't need multi-lens for this one. The only reason why I had multi-lens originally was for Power Up Punch, right? So Power Up Punch works similar to... Hold on, I gotta get this out of the way. Power Up Punch works similar to Torch Song, but for physical attacker. So every time I use it, you can see, it'll boost my attack every time. But yeah, you can see, you don't really have to use the same moves I'm using either. Like Power Up Punch is just so insane. But yeah, that's how I basically started the first like 200 floors with Dragapult. I just use Power Up Punch, and that was basically it. Just hope that you get some multi-lens. You have Parental Bond to give you like the extra hit, which isn't gonna do much damage since it's only like 25% of the original damage, but at least it'll give you a guaranteed +2 attack. So it's like a free Swords Dance in a way without having to waste a turn. Oh yeah, I should also mention Nightshade and Seismic Toss can flinch too if you have King's Rock. So the good thing about this build is that it's going to negate protection tokens. I guess in the future, I could also just show Metal Burst because I can just unfuse or unsplice the Mega Kangaskhan. I could always just find another one later. So it's up to you guys. If you want to do this build, you don't have to bring in a Kangaskhan. He's pretty expensive to bring in, so I wouldn't recommend it. You just gotta get lucky and find one in the jungle. And if you're playing Endless for a long time anyways, then you'll eventually run into one. Oh, I don't know why I forgot to mention this, but if you guys want to do this build, it's a lot easier to do it in Endless Splice mode. Considering that in Endless Splice, I could just show you guys real quick. Let's take a small detour on what we're doing. If you do Endless Splice, any mod that you bring in, considering that it's a shiny, you would actually splice it into another mon once you start the game mode with the same shiny rarity. So if I were to bring in one mon that's an epic shiny, it would splice it with another epic mon at random. So you could just bring in, let me calculate this, 3, 6, 9, 12. You could bring in 2 epic shinies and 1 regular shiny and you'll have max luck right off the bat. So say for example, I just bring in these guys, right? If you add this up, this is only 7 luck. But if I start Endless, no, I can't. All right, see you later, Heracross. Limited save files there. You can see once we start Endless Splice mode, they spliced it with other mons. And if I were to kill this guy, you can see that I will be at max luck. And the way Endless Splice works is usually, you know how a DNA Splicer is a Master Ball tier item? It's only a Great Ball tier item in this game. So you can find it relatively easily. First shiny legendary and it's a Ho-Oh. I really want to try a Ho-Oh. I heard that it's really good once you unlock the passive and then you just give it Brave Bird and Flare Blitz to negate any type of recoil damage because of Magic Guard. How do you get the Splice mode? So after you beat Classic with a Splice Pokemon. So you would have to get lucky and get a DNA Splicer in Classic too. Dude, this game is just straight up RNG. Tell me not, man. So now we just re-roll for rare candies and candy jars. That's basically it. But yeah, you don't have to use the same mod as me. Like I said, definitely check out the decks and just type in Parental Bond. And you can see the amount of like different mons you can use, like friggin' coughing if you want to. Let me move my cam. Marowak, Doduo, coughing, Girafarage, Hydreigon, Phalanx. No way this guy gets it. Okay, I could imagine with Scovillain, but Dondozo, sure, you know, if they want to get it, they can have it. The only ones that will have it for his regular ability is just gonna be Mega Kangaskhan, so it's a lot easier unlocking it as a passive for a mon and just fusing whatever you want into it afterwards. This gives me the chance to build up some candies too, so eventually I could hatch a shiny version of it and then lower the cost because my guy is still pretty expensive to bring in. Okay, that's 5, 6. I still cannot see the full amount of hits that I can get out of Power Up Punch. It's crazy because you only get stronger and stronger. Unless they start enduring, then I can see. What's for dinner? So me and Annie just came back from a Mediterranean place called Cava. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's kind of similar to like Chipotle, like a Chipotle type of chain, where you go up and then they just either make your bowl for you, but you can either have a pita or a bowl. So for today, I had a bowl for the first time because usually I get it as a wrap, and it's pretty good. The place I go to has a Chipotle and a Cava like right next to each other. I knew it. It's Friday, so why not treat yourself, right? I also tried using Dragon Energy on Dragapult, which honestly doesn't work too bad, even though he's a physical attacker. I was considering on making it a special attacker, giving it Modest Mint, and then also trying to find a Skeledirge in the wild, and then giving it Torch Song. So it'll be basically the opposite of these two moves. I would have Torch Song here, and then I would have Dragon Energy, because you get Dragon Energy as an egg move for Dragapult, which doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they're giving it a special attack move, considering it's a physical attacker, but you know, it's there. Guys, I think after I upload this as a video, and once the devs see it, they're most likely gonna nerf Parental Bond. I'll be honest. They're gonna do that with the mana fee. They're gonna do it with this build too. Because I'm pretty sure they didn't intend Parental Bond to work the way it does right now. So they probably overlooked that it procs with Nightshade and Metal Burst. Even Metal Burst alone is kind of insane. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna remove it from just like level-based moves in general, and also any type of like recoil. Because imagine this, right? Late game, you're using Metal Burst, you're always gonna recoil back like 100k damage and above. Imagine with Parental Bond, that's 200k damage. You're basically doing 2 Metal Bursts in 1 turn. But then with Nightshade, you know, once you're level 100k, that's 400k damage in 1 turn, and you get the chance to flinch them too. Yo, Yas, thank you so much for subbing with your Prime. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, the reason why I know for sure they're going to do a fix on this is because the fact that the additional hitting moves is not doing 25% damage, they're doing the full value of whatever you're hitting. But either way, it's fun. You know, the series that we're working on, we can showcase like unique builds in general. Some are good, some are bad, some are unique. Eventually, I'll start showcasing like utility builds, even though they're not really, you know, fun to play. It's just gimmicky, I should say. I want to see more people either make content for this game or just stream it in general. Before I went live, I saw there was only like 100 viewers in the category, which is kind of sad to see. Because a couple months back, dude, this game was super hyped. Everybody's playing it. Streamers were playing it. Ludwig was playing it. There was a time we even reached 200k players online. So yeah, you can see that the hype is slowly dying down. But that's okay, because we're not having any server issues anymore. That's a plus. I'll tell you what, if I wasn't making content on this game, I wouldn't be playing it as much. Content is literally the only thing that's like driving me to basically do what I'm doing right now. So if I didn't have that, I most likely would just play the game casually like I was doing for the first month. I mean, I'll still play, I just won't commit as much time to the game as I am right now. The main reason why I have like so much time in this game too is because basically just recording for one video can take anywhere between like 6 hours to 8 hours of game time, right? So we were showing off the Heracross build, dude, that shit took me 6 hours. We had to like do 2 streams, 2 3-hour streams. And if I'm being honest, that's not a really good build. Like we ranked it in C tier, but the fact that people just enjoy seeing like builds in general for content wise, it clearly speaks for itself. So I hope that for this video that we're working on right now for this build, I would say like this is the most unique build that we're ever gonna showcase. So hopefully it does well. If it does worse than the Heracross build, I'm done. I'm just gonna go back to using gimmick builds and just casual sturdy with Moxie or some shit. I want to see them start enduring some of my hits so that I can count how many hits I get in. My playtime, if that's what you're asking, let's take a look. I think a little over 14 days when I last checked. 14 days, 7 hours. How many hours is that? 24 times 14 plus 7. Is Sappy Seed better than Leech Seed? In my opinion, I want to say yes, because it's a 100 base power move, which also gives you the added bonus of getting Leech Seed in. And considering that they both have the same, what do you call it? The same accuracy at 90, you might as well just use that. The only time I would say Leech Seed is better is if you have Prankster for your ability, right? To give it that priority. So many options for this game. That's the one thing I do like about this game in general though. It's just like, it's not like your average Pokemon game. A lot of logic that you normally have in terms of like core mechanics that you're familiar with from other games doesn't really apply to this game. So in a sense, this game has its own like unique type of mechanic. But then again, it also takes a lot of influence from just other games in general. and just compile it all into one game, right? How often are you finishing endless runs? Not too often. It takes way too long. Like anything past 3k, it's just not worth it for me to like continue playing. The only reason why I would continue like anything past 3k is for like shinies, right? Since you're just running away, encountering more shinies, that's the only benefit from that. But other than that, there's no reason to just play it out unless you really enjoy endless that much. I have it set to 3500 for this run, but it's slowing down to the point you can see like if I use my Zacian right now, look at my damage. 5 damage, yeah. You're not gonna do any damage against anything, considering that they have all these protection tokens. So each protection token reduces incoming damage by 2.5% if you guys aren't familiar with that. And then if you times that by the amount of tokens you have, so 365 times 2.5%. Once you get this far into the game, no matter how strong your carry is going to be, even if you give it 10 soul dues, the correct nature, the best movesets possible, you're not going to deal any damage aside from basically chip damage moves like Salt Cure. This is the only way for you to deal damage, watch. So 16k from that. So you're basically making your opponent work against themselves. So for me, I just play it out until 3k when I can't do any more damage, and then I just move on to a new run. Eric says, hi Ace, this is my first time in your stream, but I've watched your YouTube videos. Love the content. I still haven't beat classic mode, but I'm loving the game. That's awesome, dude. Glad to hear you're enjoying the game, and thank you so much for supporting the content. So when I first saw the Arrival had a shiny Ray, I was like, oh shit, dude. Things are heating up now. And the fact that you fight a legendary like so early into the game compared to like what you're using on your team, freaking like Pidgeys and maybe one Fuecoco. But times have changed. Like the more you play this game, the better your team's gonna be now. Progressively, it only gets better and better the more you play. So that's where you get like the roguelike elements of the game itself. But you definitely will have a tougher time when you're starting out for sure. So I do feel bad for a few new players. But if you like the challenge, man, this is the game for you. I will say this game was definitely a challenge when I first started playing it. And that was my favorite part too. Like just going in blind, just using whatever you have to your knowledge. If you played Pokemon before, you can try to translate that knowledge into this game, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really do much because this game has its own mechanics in general. Do you think they'll remove the candy exploit before the next event? Nope. Because if they try to remove it, they're gonna fuck something up, and then there's gonna be a different exploit that makes it even worse. The only thing that I can assume that they can like try to fix is like, say for example, you just can't access the shop, right? Until you get to the next floor. So the fact that you can just capture Mons and then immediately open the shop after is how people are exploiting it. So unless they find a way to disable the shop during like a capture sequence, then yes. But we'll see. It's probably not even on their radar in terms of like stuff they have to do a hotfix for, right? Otherwise they would have done it a long time ago. I'm pretty sure they've been aware of the exploit for a while. Like I've known about the exploit since I would say May, because originally people used to do it to capture multiple shinies, right? If you have like a double battle for 2 shinies and you want to capture both shinies, you will basically do that exploit, but to capture one of each shiny. So you would capture the first one, do that candy exploit, and then reset your game and then capture the other shiny so that you get progress for both. No one back in the day did that to get candies in general. So that's how the exploit honestly just originated. But now it's getting more apparent since candies are the big issues for this game. So no one's doing it for shinies anymore. We're doing it straight up for candies. And the only reason why this exploit is more apparent now is because candies have a purpose in this game. Before, you can only use it to unlock passive abilities and to, what do you call it? To reduce the cost, right? And after that, you're done. But now, since you can use candies to purchase eggs, and each eggs have like their own incentives, being a 1 in 32 chance of being a shiny, higher chance of having hidden abilities and rare egg moves, of course people are gonna do the exploit because it's more beneficial, it's more time efficient too. Unless they make a way that's a lot more efficient to obtain candies, there's no reason why people will not do that. But for me, I'm just stubborn. I just like to play the game the way I intended the game to be. So my terms of like exploits are just based off like just small things, I would say. Like certain abilities, certain moves to find like a way around them. No way I'm gonna lose to an iron bundle. But in terms of like stuff to give me an advantage over other players, I usually like stray away from that. But it's a single player game at the end of the day, so who really cares what you do? It doesn't really affect anybody besides your own playstyle. Okay, power up punch, and then we basically just win off of that. I don't even know why I do Nightshade knowing that I'm only gonna take down 4 health bars. That's gonna be the drawback of double parental bond because I'm not gonna have sturdy. So if they were to hit me, I am 100% dead. Unless I get lucky and flinch them, right? So we'll see. I don't get the point of exploding isn't the whole point to grind. My like best way of explaining it is people like instant gratification. In a sense where like you're grinding 2 to 3 hours for a game and you have nothing to show for it, kind of makes you feel like you wasted your time. So people want to be rewarded for the efforts. But in terms of like exploiting, it just saves you all that time that you would have grind, right? So yeah, it is a bit redundant to do that because you're basically just taking the fun away from things. So long-term wise, you have to ask yourself if it's worth it, because once you get everything you need, what left do you have? I can say though that in most of my videos, when people see me access like the gacha, they can see like how many tickets I have hoarded up. And if you go through like my comment section for, I would say like my most viewed video, you can see how many times I get accused of being a hacker. Because I get comments of people just asking like, damn, how did this guy get so much vouchers? And honestly, it's not even a lot of vouchers. It's just me playing endless. And if you played enough times as I do, then you can basically get the same amount. But again, people can't really handle the grind, I'll say that. I won't really condemn people for that, considering like I play a lot more than the average person. But that's only because I make content, right? So I can't really expect someone else, like a casual player, to play as much as I do. So here's that. But the fact that like I have something to show for my progress, a lot of people consider that I hacked the game because of that. So I'm not sure if I should take that as like a compliment at the same time or be insulted, but it's funny to see. Alright, slowly approaching Eternatus. I have 3, so that's a max. Looks like we're all maxed out aside from soul dues. So when we fight Eternatus, I can go straight into just using Nightshade if I want to, or power up punch and get all my stats. And then just kill it off with Dragon Darts. We'll try both ways. We'll start it off with Nightshade first. If we die, then I'll just reset. I can't wait till they make an option where you can like banish certain items. They should give you an option to banish like up to 2 items, right? So you never see it in the shop again until you like decide to remove it. Like most roguelike games have that feature. So seeing this for this game in terms of the shop could be a nice touch. I'm gonna die to iron barbs. I actually died to iron barbs. I'm gonna die again to iron barbs. My own build worked against me. Wow. Because of the enduring tokens, that's so funny. There goes my reviver seed too. I was saving that for Eternatus. Let me turn on my move animations and see how this works. So it has 7 health bars. I do not have a reviver seed, so if it doesn't flinch, I am dead. So those are my hits. I'm dead here. Alright, let's go back into Power Up Punch. Never forget, I lost my Reviver Seed to Iron Barbs because the Ferrothorn endured all my hits. Okay, so this is gonna hit 16 times. I'll get my +6 here. This has to flinch, dude. If this does not flinch in 16 hits, I swear to God. Okay, there we go. 16 hits. And now I'm +6, so Dragon Dart should just kill it. There we go. Shouldn't Dragon Dart technically do 32 hits then? Compared to Pokemon games, Pokerogue's trainers AI are actually really good. Sometimes they're a little too good, right? They're always gonna find a way to like counter your team. I used to play Pokemon Revolution online, and they have a concept called like Super Boss. Let me see if that's still a command in my stream. Oh yeah. I used to do Super Boss battles, and that's basically how the fights are structured against you. Let me read this. Super Boss are structured to be the most difficult battles in the game, with teams consisting of legendaries and mega evolutions, including perfect natures, abilities, IVs, and 400 EVs in every stat. Optimal held items and up to 8 dominating movesets. No items can be used during battle. So I don't know if you guys ever played Revolution, but that was like the hardest battles for me in general, and you only get like a one-time chance, no reruns, and you can only fight them like once every 2 weeks. Yeah, for the people that's doing population bomb strat in chat, good luck. Have fun seeing 40 hits being endured. This shit's ass, dude. I feel like once mons start enduring your hits, you should just stop attacking. Yes, my first shiny charm. Have you seen the Miles Morales? I saw him get beat up by the police like a couple days ago. There was like a Twitter post of him, I don't know if he was protesting or something, but there was like 10 police officers ganging up on him. Anybody know why he got arrested? Can someone look it up? What did he do? Yes, my second shiny charm. I don't know the audience for NPC content. The only NPC content that I like is this one dude. He does like medieval content, which is pretty funny. It's all scripted, so it's not like live stream or anything. It's all like skits. I'm pretty sure you guys seen this guy's videos before, but this is like the only NPC like content creator that I enjoyed watching. I would play a video, but I don't want to get DMCA'd for it, especially in my Pokerogue videos. Apparently he was fighting another guy on stream and got arrested. I did read that he gets mad really easily, but at the same time too, like from what I said earlier, like no one leaves him alone. Like no one knows how to mind their own business. So I guess it can be annoying when he's just trying to do his own thing and people just, you know, bother him all the time. If you ever see videos of him getting like, of the police coming up to him or just like random people in public just giving him a hard time, he stays in character, but it's so funny when it's just like, you're starting to piss me off. Okay, if you guys could make as much money as him doing what he does, would you do NPC content? If you're making at least over $1 million a year, then it's definitely worth it, dude. You know how much money you can make from dividends just off $1 million per year? The annual return is probably like at least 10% if you put it in like a regular dividends account. That's 100K a year off 1 million, and you could just live off that. Even in a high yield saving account, if you just get like a 5% annual return, that's still a lot of money. That's 50K. I would do it for like a certain amount of time until like I gain enough revenue to basically support another way of making money, right? I wouldn't make that like my only source of income. I don't remember all the mons from the top of my head, but you can easily get this move and just fuse into Dragapult if you want to. And then, yeah, with the multi-lens and even with Parental Bond too, you can easily get +6 attack every single time. And that's been a big help. Okay, our third shiny charm, long overdue. Now we just need one more. but that's definitely my favorite and my best one that I have in my arsenal. But 4 shiny charms, we made it, lads. I'll take my final Master Ball. Okay, for Emax Eternatus, he cannot be flinched, so I cannot use my strat. I can get 4 health bars down in this sense, but if he hits me with 1 Dynamax cannon, whatever it's called, I am dead, but I do have a Reviver Seed. But let's just showcase how much Nightshade can do in terms of damage wise. Oh wow, not even enough for a full health bar. Oh, I got lucky there. Now this is the downside of not having Unnerved, so it can't eat berries. And my level is honestly not that much higher than his in terms of like doing damage with Nightshade, but it'll still work. If I wanted to brute force it and use Power Up Punch and Dragon Dart, we could probably kill it in 2 hits. But let me just see if it's possible to do it with just Nightshade alone. Because now I'm full health. I'm still proccing the focus bands, and I still do have my Reviver Seed too, so we'll see what happens. Oh, he has to recharge? No way, he's Emax. Unless he's still using Eternal Beam and not the correct move. But yeah, we pulled it off with just Nightshade alone. But we got lucky with our procs for the focus bands. Wowzers. Well, that is the build, everybody. Double Parental Bond. It works with Nightshade. It works with Seismic Toss. Unfortunately, I couldn't show off Metal Burst for this stream, but if you guys are watching the upload, I'll probably include a segment at the beginning of the stream when I discuss it, so you can see it there. But definitely, this is the beginning of this specific build. So if you come back to like once we're at floors 4,000, you can see where this build will really shine. So tune in for that one, guys. But I will end off our session here. We were live for 4 hours straight. I didn't take 1 break. I did take a few hydration breaks, but I need to I guess I need to catch my breath, dude. I've been talking all stream and I can feel like I'm starting to slur my words a little bit. But good session, my friends. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. But I will work on this video today and tomorrow, depending on when it will be finished, and then I will upload it on the YouTube channel, so it'll be there. But other than that, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for the follows, thanks for the subs, and thanks for hanging out. I shall see you when I see you again. Take care, everybody.